Let's get it started. My name is Jeff Carroll. I'm a local writer of science fiction and drama and urban fiction, you name it. And I'm here with two other local authors, okay? One is Miss Patricia Martindale, okay? But she might be calling herself Patsy, and we're going to find out why.
That's a name, that's a shortcut for the name in the Caribbean or the South America.
Yes, so we're going to hear all about that. And then we're here with author Henry Sylverain. Yes?
Sylverain.
Sylverain. You know, I'm leaving syllables out, I'm killing people. But we're going to call him Henry and Miss Patricia. You like that?
Or Dr.
Patsy?
Patricia.
Dr. Patricia? Oh, they didn't put the doctor on here, so I'm glad you called me. So Dr. Patricia. So we have two beautiful authors. One is author of Patsy's Dream, and the other is the author of Kingdom Bones, right? All right. So let's hear from Dr. Patricia first. Tell us about Patsy's Dream. Kind of where did the idea of that come from? And I guess let's start with that. Where did the idea come from?
When I was a child in Guyana, South America, I lived with my mother and her mother, grandmother, my grandmother, maternal grandmother. And my maternal grandmother got very ill. And I told myself I'm going to be a doctor because I was hoping to heal her. That's where the dream started, and it never left.
So the book is sort of autobiographical.
Sort of.
Okay, tell us, you know, pitch the book to us. Tell us about the book.
Okay. I wanted to be a doctor. I came to America at almost 21 years old. My father sent for me. And I did not finish high school in Guyana. I was BSing around. But when I came to America, I got my senses back. And I started.
How old were you when you came to America?
Oh, 21 almost.
21.
I ended up going to high school in America. I got the GED in America. Then I decided, no. I went to high school long enough. I want a regular diploma. So I got credits for the courses I did in Guyana, and I was able to get my American high school diploma in about 10 months.
Wow, okay.
Then I got a job in the lab on the recommendations of a relative of mine. I work in the lab. Then they did not know, but at that time I was no longer on a visitor's visa, which is what I came on. And they didn't know I lied because, you know, you need a job, you're gonna lie.
Right.
So anyhow,
Get them.
the immigration,
Get those right wings.
the immigration caught up with me. They sent me a letter that I have to come in. So a cousin of mine said, why don't you go to this other job in Brooklyn? They sponsor illegal aliens. So I went there, and they offered me a job.
Illegal aliens.
Yeah, because I was illegal. My visa was over.
I am so familiar with
English terminology.
I'm so familiar with that term.
So
That
what
terminology is not cool. We gotta make that, you know.
So the job that hired me, when I gave them, okay, I got hired by this job that my cousin told me about, right? The job that hired illegal aliens. So what I went to the regular job that I lied to, and I gave them a letter of resignation. They said, why are you leaving? We love you, why are you leaving? And I broke down and told them the truth. You know what they did? They went to the pathologist, the doctor of the lab, and asked him, what could we do for Patricia?
Oh, to sponsor you or something like that.
And they sponsored me. There's a guy. Not only they sponsored me, but I had to go back to Guyana because I had overstayed my time in America. They held the job for me for 9 months while I was in Guyana.
Wow.
And when I came back, I worked there until, but they knew from the get-go that I wanted to be a doctor.
Now, what type of job was it?
There's a lab.
Now, that's all in the book there?
It's all in the book.
Okay, so what type of...
That's a lab technician.
And how did you get your doctorate? Is that in the book too?
No, I went to med school, but they knew from the get-go that that's what I wanted to do.
That was your motivation.
Mm-hmm. And I applied to med schools in New York, can't get in. So
You went to the black one, the Mount Mary? You went to a black one?
No, what happened, my father was a dentist, and he had a friend, a doctor, whose wife was on the committee of a school in Georgia.
Oh,
And I got into the school in Georgia. But the thing is, like I said years ago, they say, I heard about the school in Mexico. I went to the post office and mailed my stuff. And the same day I got called by the school in Georgia.
Oh, wow.
That I'm admitted. So I went back to the post office and I was able to get my mail, because the mail had a $100 check.
What? So you got your money back?
I got my money back.
So you went and got a doctorate in what?
I got a medicine. I'm a medical doctor.
A medical doctor. How long did that take?
It's supposed to be 4 years, but I'll tell you the story why it took me longer. But anyhow, I started there, and the sad part was I had to leave my husband and 2 small children, 7 and 10 in New York, and go to Georgia. But my husband knew this is my dream. I'm not letting it go. I don't care. If I have to take my kids with me, I'll do it, but they're his kids too.
Right.
So he took care of them, 7 and 10, while I was in Georgia.
And how long was that? 3?
No, that was 2 years in Georgia, because an angel stepped in, one of the professors there. She knew my situation. I had a husband and children in New York, and she spoke to someone at a New York university, New York Medical School, Rudy, and he was able to get me the transfer.
Wow.
But it was so risky. As a matter of fact, my father always used to tell me, Patsy, you always have to get back. Yes, if you mess with me, I'm going to get back with you. No, and I have something on the program for this guy that tried to mess me up. This white neurologist from South Africa tried to change my grade. When I passed the course, he put in a different grade, and I said, but I have the paper grade. Look what it showed. He had to correct it.
Wow.
You know?
And that's crazy. I mean, and your story is called Patsy's Dream, right?
My journey.
And I'm a teacher of English, and I work with young people nowadays, and so many of them think we harbor on the racial impact of our journeys, right? Because all of us have a journey, you know, and you don't call it that, but it is something that has impacted you from the very beginning. You know, I mean, I don't know if they call immigrants from other countries, particularly the European ones, right? As you say, right? Illegal aliens. I don't know. You know, I wonder if that's what they call them. You know, we got these illegal immigrants from Ukraine. I don't think we've ever heard those 2 terms.
Only when they come from Jamaica.
Right, but when they come from, you know, the black and brown countries, it's illegal. Mexican, illegal, you know. But immigrants all over, and I think that term is something we should do away with. And I'm a foundational black American, right? I'm all African American. So I appreciate your story for that. How long have you been a doctor, and what is your highest moment? Were you able to heal people like you had wanted to when you were dreaming of being a doctor?
Yeah, you can't heal everybody,
right?
You know, but I feel that I did a great job, and I didn't care if my patient was black, blue, purple, green, what. I gave them my all.
She did.
I gave them my all.
And how long did you practice?
I practiced from 89 to, what did I say, 89 to 2019, 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I had my own practice.
That's
but I still practice now as an immigration doctor.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Because you know, like I said, there's a God. I sold my practice, and just as I was getting ready to leave, I got a letter from an immigration medical clinic. They found me on the list of immigration doctors, asked me, can you draw blood? Can you give vaccines? Of course I could. And they hired me, and I've been there for 4 years.
Wow. I'm going to hold questions for her until after we hear Henry and kind of let it both, because let's see what he's got.
No, I put it down here.
Gotta stay hydrated. So let me see if there's any other questions. How long did it take you to write your book?
I guess that's maybe 6 months. I got someone through a friend.
To help you out.
I gave her the history and she formulated it.
So why did you choose to write a book? as opposed to now we got podcasts.
I
and
don't
other
know.
things.
I'm old fashioned, man.
Right. That's all right. You're an 80, if you don't mind, an 80-year-old success story. You know, the reason why I asked that question is because I love books, right? And I love books. I love comics. I go to the movies almost every week.
Wow.
I love a lot of things, but I don't love movies so much that I don't want books, right? I don't love comic books so much that I don't want movies or books. And sometimes people, you know, we live in this culture of competition. And people feel sometimes that new things replace old things. And many times these things can live side by side with each other. You know, and I ask that question because this is as much it's more like a memoir. It's more like a memoir, autobiography, you know, of your life. And I think that's books are perfect for that. You know, do you have pictures in there?
A few,
Okay.
most in the back.
Okay. You know, and feel free at your time when you get one of your grandmother.
I have 6 grandchildren.
Okay, you talk to them and have them put you up a blog page or a Facebook page, link it to your book, and then you can put more pictures, put pictures of your retirement party. You know, we want to celebrate all of that. And these things become archivable. We're in a center for African culture. Right. And you are a part of that, you know, especially when we hear some people like these right-wingers running on the fact that they're sending us their worst. You know, you're a success story. You champion some of the African Americans that are here, you know. So, again, let's give her a round of applause.
All of my family, like, my practice, she works.
Yes. So,
Hi everyone.
that's okay. This is your first book. Is this your first live appearance?
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Hi, how are
celebrate
you?
that. This is, we want people to see the whole circle of what authors get, you know, what our elders get, right? When they achieve life and success in their life. Okay? So now, Henry,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to try to say it again. Sylverain.
Sylverain. Best way for you to do it is just to, I tell people, it's 2 words. The word silver and the word rain. Just
You know
put them
what?
together.
You know what gets me is the Y in the beginning.
It's the Y that messes
Yeah,
everybody
that-
up. If it was an I, then it would. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm an English teacher in public school, so I'm used to not, you know, submitting to the grammar that is in names. Because names have their own grammar.
Oh, especially now.
Right, I can read, but I can't read everybody's today. What?
Yeah.
So, Kingdom Bones,
Yes.
right? So you come here, as you put in your bio, February 4th. Why is that so significant to put? What is the 4th, February 4th to you, other than your birthday?
February 4th to me is, nobody's ever asked me that.
It's sort of significant, you know. I told you everything that you put out is on the table.
Well, February 4th, I mean, it's happy time for me, of course, because it's, you know, your birthday around that time. I share my birthday with one of my favorite rappers. His name is Carroll.
Oh, really?
Whoa,
I'm gonna have to, you know, I have to respect you.
Dipset all day.
Okay.
So I would say, you know, my birthday is synonymous that day is synonymous for me because it's a celebration of not only me but of family.
Okay.
Because you know, my parents, my mom, my dad always kind of made it special for me.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, a lot of people do take pride in their birthday. Was it? Is that Pisces?
No, that's
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Okay.
He's 1 day after me.
I'm 1 day after
you're
her.
you're the third?
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Very
good.
third.
Black History Month people. I think y'all are the original. It's a Black History Week was the first week in February too,
Yes.
right? So
Correct.
y'all got both of those.
Yes.
All right, so you're an immigrant as well.
Yes.
And you do you come from the Bahamas or you were just born there? Which country did you immigrate from?
I came from the Bahamas.
Okay.
My parents immigrated from Haiti to the Bahamas. They both came by boat. So
Okay.
they both immigrated there illegally. They had me and they had the rest of my siblings. And after, I grew up there, and after things got a little out of hand, at age 13, my father said, look, I'm sending you and your brother to the United States. And
So the Bahamas got even turmoil.
the Bahamas was always in turmoil, especially for Haitian migrants, especially the offspring of Haitians, because in the Bahamas, they don't consider you Bahamian even though you're born there. If you have Haitian blood, you're Haitian. That's what they put on. I don't have if you look at my documentation growing up, it's different than somebody that's born there.
Who was born in Bahamas?
They'll give you a birth certificate, but right there at the bottom it says born of Haitian.
Now your children,
Yes.
they have American on it?
Well, yes, regular
Right,
American.
so
Yeah.
even though, if your parents would have come here, you would have had American on it.
Right.
So even though, that's, I always tell people, America's this different place.
Yes.
Where it does take people in, as much as they try to call them illegal aliens,
Right.
they still will, live up to something different than other countries, because that's crazy,
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, so I was fortunate for my father to have that vision and said that, look, I think that my children would better thrive in the United States as opposed to being in the Bahamas, because a lot of, not to get too much into it, but because of that discrimination, it really ran deep. Of course, it's not all Bahamians, and that's not to marginalize a whole nation.
Right.
It was just an ignorance that was shared by a lot of people, but not by many. If you hate, the Bahamas has a rich culture. I'm fortunate to come up in it. It shaped me and shaped my love for art and everything. So it's not that I can badmouth the culture. It's more along the lines of the thinking of people. Mm-hmm. So now what's going on in the Bahamas right now is that those kids that grew up under that discrimination, they grew up, they don't have paperwork and stuff like that, so what do they resort to? Drugs, gangs.
Because they can't get jobs.
They can't get jobs.
Right.
So,
they can't access the system.
So they decided to create their own system. So that's a big issue that the Bahamas is dealing with now with Haitian gangs that are just running rampant.
Because they're not able to get services.
Right.
They're not able to get other things.
Right.
So, question for you.
Yes.
When did you move? When did your parents go to Bahamas?
My father arrived about 5 years before my mother did.
Was this the 80s or the 90s?
My father arrived like in the late 70s.
Okay.
My mom came in probably 2 years before she had me, because she had my brother already.
Okay.
She had my brother,
In Haiti?
no, here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm the second. I'm second on both sides, but both of them, it's complicated.
Don't
But,
worry, we all got those type of
yeah.
families.
But it was my brother, and then they had me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's beautiful. So, do you make a good conch salad?
No, my mother does. Believe it or
I
not.
want to hear. I was like conch salad, and mine is mushroom rice.
Mushroom
so
rice.
you can get the conch salad and the mushroom rice.
That's all together. That's Haitian and Bahamian.
That's right. So do you blend your meals?
My mother is predominantly Haitian food, but
Okay.
if she wanted to, she could make Bahamian food, because obviously, growing up there,
Yes.
working in service, she's learned to make conch salad, Johnny cake, all of this stuff that synonymous with Bahamian culture.
And what do you prefer?
I prefer Haitian.
Okay. You had to say it. You had to say it. All right. So let's get into your book.
Yes.
Before you tell us about the book,
Yes.
what was the motivation? Where did you get this idea from?
Well, if I could hark back to the Bahamas, I think the one thing that I had was my ace in the hole is that I love storytelling, and I was the best at it.
Oh, you was a good liar. I mean, let's blow the,
Right.
let's keep it real, right?
You might as well say that I was the best life. But but I was best at coming up with stories. I think growing up in the Bahamas, when you're dealing with that level of discrimination and stuff like that, you gravitate to the thing that is the one thing that you hold over everybody. And the one thing was reading and telling stories.
Wow.
That's what I was good at.
Okay.
And other than music, those were the things. So I grew up hearing so much things about Haiti and about Haitians of this and Haitians of that, and then moving over here, and of course things are better. You know, Haitians aren't all the way accepted around the time that I grew up. I mean, now it's like, oh, everybody's
Yeah, what year
like,
did you come to America?
1998.
Okay, so that was after HIV's, stereotype, but it still was lingering.
Yeah, still was lingering. Yeah,
Okay.
so another thing that was spread. Like,
Did you like the Fugees?
love the future.
Okay.
Of course, it's like
Okay. That's beautiful, but
Yeah.
that was, I'm in the 90s rap as much as I'm 80s rap.
So am I.
So
So am
we
I.
had to have that conversation. That's good. All right, so the Fugees, we set it up.
Yeah, love Fugees. Of course, Wyclef Jean is a huge influence. It was just like I would hear these stories about Haiti, and it was just a misconception. And then, of course, within the Haitian culture, you ran into a lot of the movies. It was rare that you would find like original written movies. A lot of the other movies, kind of like, I'm sorry to say, African movies, they would go ahead and just kind of recreate movies that are here in the United States.
Right. But it's like dub movies.
Dub movies,
Yes,
exactly.
that's fine.
Exactly. Which it's cool to draw inspiration, but when you just flat out just copy a whole movie.
Listen, they got Indian Spider-Man before, so we got African Spider-Man, we got Indian Spider-Man. We all got the internet now, so
Exactly.
everybody's stuff is on blast.
You can see all of it.
So that inspired you?
That inspired me because I wanted to do. I was like, okay, I've seen original stories.
Right.
I've seen original Haitian stories. I was like, why is it that we don't have anything like that anymore? Why is it not prominent anymore?
Wow.
Why is everybody just kind of leaning towards what is popular and just copycatting? And I was like, you know what? No, I got a story. I can tell it. And I've had this story in my mind forever, and it just kind of started formulating in the past 10 years. And when I would say what triggered me to write it was I was living in Baltimore. I moved back home, and my then girlfriend, now wife, who you see out there, we were talking, and she was like, "Just write it, just because it's just so in your head. Put it out." So that's what kind of just started the process and got done.
All right, so let's hear the story. Give us the pitch. Tell us what it's about.
Okay, so my book is called Kingdom's Bones, and it is about 3 estranged siblings that are assassins that inherit an ancient power. They are the descendants of the first king of Haiti called Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
Okay.
And they
Dessalines.
yes. So they grew up. So they were born in Haiti under the Duvalier regime.
Okay.
The person that, if you remember, Duvalier was a dictator, and the commander under his regime killed their parents.
Okay.
And they fled Haiti to come to South Florida.
Oh.
So they grew up here in South Florida, and they became estranged. They went their separate ways.
So this has roots in 1804.
Yes.
And then you fast forward to what year?
It goes back and forth.
Okay, it goes back and forth.
This book goes back to the time of the Templars all the way back here.
Templars.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Templars? How do Templars connect with Haiti? Tell me.
Well,
Is it
I'll be telling the story.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll just say this.
Yes.
Your book is fantasy.
Yes.
Okay. Do you play the video game Assassin's Creed?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm also mad at it.
Okay.
I'm also mad at it.
I'm a Duela used to be my screensaver.
Okay.
Sorry, we nerded out. Let me bring it back. Did that have any influence in your?
It had a big influence.
It
Why I
sounds
hate it.
like it.
Okay, so I love the game Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
But they messed up when they did Black Flag.
Okay.
When they did that, Black Flag is kind of a pirate version of.
Did they correct it with Cry Freedom or Freedom Cry?
I think it was Freedom Cry that they did, but that was based in Haiti.
Okay.
I was so excited when I saw it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play this game. Wow, I go into it, I start playing it. Okay, visually awesome. Oh my God, black people as pirates. Okay, historically accurate. Awesome. Heard the language.
You are free, my brother.
Oh, no.
But hey, Oh, that's the Haitian side.
No, it
And
was
I got
just,
you.
it was just like, oh, come on.
You are big, my brother.
It was like, come on. No, I mean, even if you're gonna go ahead and, because of course, like Black Panther, you're gonna have to do it in English or whatever. It was just the language that was being spoken
Right.
in the background. It was like, y'all didn't get somebody from Haiti to do that,
Right,
did
you
y'all?
consult.
And it was just like, it just spoiled it for me. So I was just like, nah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make this an animation.
So
and I'm gonna make this a
your
game.
story was a reaction
Yes.
to that.
Exactly.
I'm glad I asked that question, right? So that's beautiful. I say that because sometimes I played the dozens when I grew up, right?
Okay.
You say something about me, I'm not gonna punch you. I'm gonna say something better. You know, I teach my students that,
Right.
and I say, don't say your mama, but say, you know, I'm fat. You be like, well, you this and that, instead of fighting. You know, and then we jar and we laugh and blah blah blah,
Right.
because that's how I did it, right? My first book was a response, and I'm sorry to break from you all, but my first book was a response to the movie Brandon Fraser's The Mummy. And I'm a Hotep, right? Queen Nana Camille Yarborough that's here,
Right.
she's our queen mother. I'm a son of Africa, she's over the daughters of Africa. And we greet each other long before Dr. Umar with Hotep. Right, so we use it appropriately, and then they made it. Imhotep was the monster mummy. So I wrote my first book, Thug Angel, Rebirth of a Gargoyle, you know, and in that I put the pure form of Imhotep, and I made sure that he's in my comic books as Imhotep and other things. So that's, I think, our job. My shirt is I love sci-fi because of what you're doing there, and I mean. I really don't have any other questions right now for you. I know we were 30, 40 minutes today, but I appreciate it, you know. Anything else you wanted to tell us about this story? That's the long pitch?
That's the long, I mean, basically, the whole, they become estranged and they come back together when they find out the person is alive. So if this is their quest to go and basically exact revenge. But they end up finding out that there's more to it and that they have more to learn about themselves than in the process of pursuing it.
Okay, so the main first question I'd like to ask, same as I asked the doctor here, is how long did it take you to write?
It took me, it was in my head for 10 years. It took me about 2 to finish it.
And how long is your book? How many words?
It's 105 pages.
Okay, 105 pages. I'm going to say about 30,000, possibly 25, 30,000. How about you?
394
Pages?
pages.
Okay, that's big, but that's fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy is allowed to be a little bit bigger. You know, that I'm going to say that might be 90,000, 80 to 90,000, might break 100,000. But
I wasn't. The thing is that I was not expecting it to be this long. Honestly, I was just hoping to just get through the story but it was just so much key points that I knew that I needed to touch on. So it just, even when I had it done, I was like, okay, this is going to be about almost 200 or what have you. But after formatting and everything, it just boom, there it is.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to the world of writing. Because as a reader, which I'm sure you all were before, it is a different feeling when you're putting your words on page. As a writer, you're thinking, you're developing, you're putting those images out there, and then when you give that book to either an editor or to the regular community, there's a different feeling.
Right.
And so that is kind of your inauguration into the world of being a writer.
Yes.
So I welcome you into that.
Thank you.
Give our writers a round of applause. Now, we remember Patsy's dream. She came from South America, which I like to say, you know, the American continent. And we have to think of a new name for America, because we get to the point, we reclaim Columbus, we got to reclaim the continent, right? I don't know what the Mayans, Incans, whatever called it, but maybe even the Africans had a name for it. So we're going to have to erase America's first future. But this is our sister from the Southern Hemisphere. And she wrote her memoir about her championship in this thing called life, 80 years, success story. Do we have any questions for either one of our writers from the audience? Yes.
Well, I know the backstory, so
No problem, no problem.
I don't have any question, but
Have you read the book yet?
yes,
Okay.
I read the book cover to cover. I know the backstory. So, I know that this has been in your head for many, many, many years, you know, to write the book. So, but how do you feel today, sitting here today? How do you feel overall with all the success that you have, and still going at 80 years old? How do you feel today in general?
I feel blessed.
She is blessed.
Happy.
All right. I forgot to ask this, probably one of the most important questions. How do people get the book? I know you're on tables outside, but I'm putting my video out for the world to see so people can celebrate you all. How can they get the book? You have a website, it's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon.
Okay, it's on Amazon. And Patsy's Dream
And
and
Journey.
Journey. That's the full title. All right, and same for you?
Yes, you can find mine on Amazon and also Barnes & Noble. And if you want to go and pick it up physically, this book is available at the Barnes & Noble in Plantation and the Barnes & Noble on Carroll.
Have you done book signings there?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's beautiful because I haven't even got mine. You know, I've been so lazy, but it's easier now than when I first started writing to get your book in Barnes and Noble because everybody's struggling.
Yeah.
So they make it easy.
Yeah.
Any questions? Any more questions? All right. Okay, good. In the back. Because I was going to ask a closing question, but I'm gonna hold it.
But Dr. Patsy,
Okay, Dr. Patsy.
what was your difficult moment as being a doctor?
I'm sorry?
What was your most difficult moment being a doctor?
Racism.
Racism.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's, hopefully, we won't have that problem anymore. You know, there'll be other problems.
That's it, Trump.
Yeah, but Trump is a part of the present and hopefully a
Never
part of
more.
the past. You know, we got this big pivot coming. You know, I'm an optimist, so hopefully, you know, racism will be something in our history books that we'll be doing movies about like Jewish people do about Nazi Germany. You know, so, you know, let's call it into fruition, God doggone it. Yeah, let's call it. Let's exercise
I
this.
think we'll get there.
I think so,
But
too.
it's gonna take a lot.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get there.
It's taken a lot,
Yeah.
you know, and we've sacrificed a lot. So let's see. I mean, we've got a bunch of new people have come here as I guess I'd say a Foundation Black American, right? And they joined in on the struggle, right?
Right.
You know, we got a beautiful legacy. Harry Belafonte, Minister Farrakhan, you know, Marcus Garvey started it off, right? Even the Haitian battalion, before they liberated their country, they played a role in the liberation. So we've got that struggle history here.
Right.
So for us to be afraid of immigration, and I'm saying that as a Foundation Black America, but as a people that are already here in America, nah, we can't be worried about that. It's other people that come from other parts of the world that have brought a history of that ignorance that we got to be afraid of. So, that was an easy answer for her. Okay, let's hear. I'll take two more questions. Can we get another question?
How did you handle the racism to become successful?
I had no choice. I had to tolerate it. Try to pass all my courses. As a matter of fact, there's a white South African neurology professor who changed my grade for me to fail the course.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I had my paper grade. So I went to the dean and I said, why did he give me whatever he gave me, F or whatever? I got a B in this course, and he had to change it. And that's what you went through. And they kept back black students at that school. That's not the school in Georgia. The school in Georgia was beautiful.
Right, the up south, right? We say that's what we say about the north. You know, so much stereotype on the south being so racist because they tried to keep slavery. They tried to hang on with the Jim Crow and the Klan was there. You know, but up in the north, black people faced another level of discrimination. They weren't wearing hoods, they were wearing ties.
They're still doing that up to this day.
Yes.
My aunt, she told me that happened. And she had to like go to the professor like, why are you grading the students? Because he was racist.
Mm-hmm.
So like the minority students, what he did was like he gave them a lower grade because he didn't want them to pass. And
And they had like when you go to the interview for the university, they had like those people that interviewed them, they wouldn't take them in because they are black or they're minorities. They have the perfect grades and everything, but because they're minorities, they didn't want to accept them into the university. So it's still going on.
Patsy.
It's just a lot of people don't come out and say anything about it, but it's still going on.
Oh, I say like
Yeah.
Subtle, very subtle.
Yeah.
Patsy's dream and journey
Yeah.
of overcoming racism. It's a champion story. I like his question. I like the spirit of it because, to be honest,
It's still there. It's still there.
we see this monster, right? And as we talk about Trump being and this right wing being a part of history, it is history for a lot of people. My son and my students don't know it, especially down here in Florida, the way I knew it even growing up. And even I didn't know it, the way my immediate elders experienced it. So that question is going to become more important because we haven't been able to, none of us talk to anybody in slavery, right? And one of the biggest questions that we deal with is, how did you make it, right? So as racism starts to recede, fingers crossed, one of the biggest questions is going to be, how did you deal with it? And part of it is like everybody else. You just accepted it, but you kept your receipts. You heard her keep her receipts? She kept her paper. Because, some of us, we always say keep your receipts so you return the item, right? But we used to say keep your receipts so they know where you were when you bought it, that you can prove that you paid for it in case somebody says you stole it. But also in this regard here, so you can prove you got the grade because you never know what kind of slick stuff they're going to try to pull on you. So, and also do the work. Don't try to get over it.
Motivation is the key.
Yep.
Motivation.
And we feed off each other. I think that question comes from, give me some help. Because I might, need to tell somebody else how to deal with it because I don't think I could deal with it, right? If I had to talk to a slave, I'd be like, oh my God, my African brother, how did you deal with enslavement? You understand? And I would like to hear those answers. So I think that was a beautiful question. Trey, you have one.
I did. I heard you mention that you were in the process of animating your book at the same time. Do you have like a timetable?
Team on that?
It's just me right now.
So what do you do? What is your 9 to 5?
My 9 to 5, I work in IT. I've done IT for over a decade now. I'm going, believe it or not, I'm moving from South Florida, and I'm moving to Tampa. I'm not leaving Florida, but I'm moving to Tampa for a position in intelligence. So, can't say much about it, but it's funny how she says, that God is good. Because I've heard so much from her about full circle moments that she's had and all the things that she's mentioned about how there was a reward that just came around for a tribulation that she went through, and it just served her or what have you. This is the reason why when you're going through stuff, it's like when you hear it's for your good, it is for your good. This job that I'm about to get is due to the things that I've experienced, bad things that I've experienced, which has caused me to be an expert, so that now I'll be able to serve the people that is currently happening to.
Well, enjoy Tampa. It's not South Florida. So you remember the question to our queen here?
Absolutely.
Okay, make sure you summon that energy.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't South Florida. South Florida, you Haitian. You go to Tampa, you black.
Yeah.
Okay?
Look.
I'm just letting you know my family's from St. Petersburg.
I got you.
All right? I go up there often, and I do recognize the difference. So my last question is always a futurist question, right? I'm going to let the queen go first.
I'm a queen now.
He was always a queen.
Yes,
Kings,
you are,
we
man.
kings and queens, right? We like to call them here in America Big Ma. You're a Big Ma. I know they got another name for it in Guyana, but all abuela, whatever language you speak, I don't know how to say it in Creole, but we give reverence to this big woman in our families and in our communities that has championed things, that offers to reach back. Because you didn't even have to write this, so this book will help somebody. Okay, and I know this video will help somebody, in addition to the people that you've already helped. So that is our tradition. So we honor you, Queen Mother. So Queen Mother, what you got lined up? I know you're gonna live for another 80 years, right? you eating right, you the doctor of health?
No,
Let's
right
go,
now-
what you got?
Right now, I'm doing immigration doctor.
Okay,
And it reminds me of what I went through.
okay. So you're gonna continue
I-
doing more of the,
Yeah,
no
I-
more books, any more books?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so.
Well, this is your first appearance. I'm pretty sure people got something from this appearance. How much is the book?
It's,
$20, that's fine, that's fair. She's available outside. Any personal questions, go see the doctor. All right, Henry?
Yes.
My brother is sci-fi.
Yes, sir.
What's good? I got a sci-fi brother on here and a gamer. My son is in IT, so he's coming out of Florida State, so we, we'll be
Go
looking
Noles.
forward to that,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, what you said?
The
You
Noles.
say Florida State?
Florida State alumni.
Where you at? You a Gator? You a Seminole?
I didn't go to college. This is what my wife would tell me. My wife is a Knowles.
Okay.
Oh,
So
she,
you're-
she reps it like crazy.
Yes, we're
me,
obnoxious.
I'm a University of Miami all day. So.
Okay, that's my oldest son. So I got that two energies in my
Put it up, put it up. Let these Knowles know because they had a good season last time. They acted, whatever.
Well, it's all good. So, question for you.
Yes.
Now, you got the fantasy book based in Haiti and the Caribbean, right? Is there a sequel, or are you going somewhere else and you're going to write again?
I am writing again. I'm already writing the sequel to it.
Nice.
Okay.
It's called Kingdom Spoon's Carnival. Goes back to Clef. Clef's first album is
Nice.
Carnival.
Okay.
So my second book is going to be called Carnival, and basically it's a continuation of the story, but going to different countries that Carnival has celebrated it.
Nice.
So it's going to
Trinidad.
Guyana.
It's going to go to
all those places.
Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn?
Oh no, there's a part of it that does go to Brooklyn.
I'm about to say.
There's a part of it that goes to Brooklyn, but it's basically just an expansion of the story, and it's a new villain.
Okay.
And the new villain basically
Is
has.
it contemporary?
Say
Or
again?
is it back in time, back and forth?
It is going to be back and forth in time, but the villain is very much current. And I'm just saying, I just explained to somebody, like this cover right now here is crazy. The cover of the next book is going to be like, if anybody, FBA, black, whatever, you walk inside the store and you see it, you're going to be like, why is there an evil drum major on this?
Oh, wow.
So that's my next villain.
Well, I thank you for this time. I definitely know there's more information in you. I thank you for the moment that you gave us for today. And Henry, I would love to be on more panels with you. I'm going to see both of you all outside. I thank you for this, and the African American Research and Cultural Center. I thank you for this opportunity. We're going to put this online and send it to the Cultural Center for them to archive the video of this. But thank you for this, and the Heritage Book Festival, right, that we're here for. Thank you very much. All the coordinators, Trey, all of the doctors. Thank you very much. All right, let's go talk to him. Okay. Thank you, Trey.